Hey, good evening, everyone. It's about 6:20 in the evening, and just want to be able to share a few things here. So good, I got everything on here right now, so that's pretty much good. So awesome. So for today, I want to be able to share quite a few things that are important to me. So it's been a while. So we want to be able to catch up on quite a few things. We talk about veterans benefits. We're talking about Ukraine. We're talking about a lot of situations that we haven't done in quite a few times. And the reason why I've been out for a while is, I had to take care of some personal things, but I decided at the spur of the moment to get up here. So if you like this content, share it and like it, tag it. This podcast is brought to you by LinkedIn Perspective. Uh, LinkedIn Perspective is a show that I was created about almost a year ago. It allows people to have the open platform and forum to be able to share their perspectives on things that are just as important. If you like this content, go to the YouTube channel and share and tag and subscribe. So let's talk about quite a few things that we haven't talked about. And let me say hello. How are you? Hello. How are you? Let me say greetings. Hello. How are you? And hello. How are you? And what's going on? How's everything? So let's talk about quite a few things here, and let's talk about veterans benefits. So biggest thing that's been going on here since the since the Afghanistani pullout is the veterans not getting their benefits. I've been talking to quite a few veterans. We're going back as the Vietnam War, and we have veterans that still haven't been able to get their benefits as well. So we're talking about helping veterans get what they need, and especially in these trying times with the cost of living and everything that's happening, especially in Ukraine and if excuse me, I almost say Afghanistan, but the thing doesn't happen in Ukraine and Russia. But the biggest thing I want to be able to talk about is what's going on here in the United States with this administration that's been more or less shelling out millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And I can tell you that what's going on in Ukraine is pretty much genocide. So a lot of you individuals don't really understand the importance of what's going on here, but I need to be able to recap quite a few things. This broadcast is brought to you by LinkedIn Perspective. It's to reach out to the masses, to reach out to people, and to be able to have a open public virtual town hall forum for individuals like yourselves. You individuals, you professionals out there should be able to have a voice in the opinion, and we should be able to get back to having a discussion. And let's talk about quite a few things. Let's talk about what's going on in Ukraine. How many of you people right now, we talked about in the beginning of the topic about the veterans benefits and the veterans not getting their service connectability of being denied. But let's talk about the situation in Ukraine for a minute. We're talking about where blatant genocide is happening after 75 years of what's going on with Germany. Now we're seeing people getting killed left and right. We're talking innocent children. We're talking about elderly people. We're talking about kids in the hospital. We're talking about people that are trying to flee the country. And we want to be able to, Marielle, how are you? Reach out and have something of a discussion. But we want to be able to understand from your point of view of what do you see versus us Americans back home. So I'm sharing with you quite a few things that are very important. And the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is that since we have this public forum and everything else, there's a couple of topics I want to be able to touch, right? And so we're talking about Ukraine, and then we're talking about the gas prices. We're talking about the cost of living. We're talking about food prices going up. We're talking about quite a few things. We're talking about people that are coming back to work. And we're talking about people that are now coming back to work. What's happening? VA has settled disability doesn't work for veterans, and that's the problem. Correct, Christopher, and I really agree with you. That's why we're having multiple conversations today for individuals to be able to share that. So, I want to put it out there. Good night, everyone. Greetings from Ponce, Puerto Rico. Good night. Huh? Thank you very much for showing up. And how's it going in Maryland, Jay? So I just want to be able to touch and reach out to everyone that I haven't spoken to for quite some time. But we have the situation in Ukraine, veteran benefits, cost of living that's going on. We're talking about the situation in New York, where I came from. That's pretty much a terrorist act, but it's crazy. New York is not safe enough anymore. That's the New York that is not the New York I grew up with. That is not the New York I visited in 2018. So for a lot of you individuals right now, I think that understand this is what are you thinking about this new technology of Bitcoin and NFTs that using as type of different currencies? So a lot of these things I have been able to, jockey around, but the biggest thing I want to be able to share with you is getting reconnected with you again. And the important is having that public dialogue to be able to hear from people and see what's going on. Addressing, I normally have a narrative, but I decided to just for the hell of it to just get online and just have a discussion. And if you if you want to have an open mic discussion about certain things, call me at 562-286-3111. 562-286-3111. We can discuss anything that you're open for. And depending on how many people are online today, we can be able to talk about certain things that are important. But the biggest thing is I want to be able to reconnect with you, ladies and gentlemen. And I think the important thing is that with streaming as another way of communicating and not being commercialized and not being more or less monetized, we can be able to share this. But let me get this right here where somebody's giving me a comment. Hey, what's happening, brother? How you doing? Teresa, it's the same in Russia, sending people to die in the 1930s at Cannibal Island. Oh, you're right. And the thing about it is that I can honestly tell you that those are things that we have to be able to discuss, and that's what's important. Genocide is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. And genocide is something that we should be able to discuss to a certain extent. Let me see if I can take this off and we can hear a little bit more. So hold on just a minute. Stand by. So I just want to be able to get this in there. Okay. What the hell? Gremlins start happening when you get back online. I can tell you that right now. So as I stated, it's important to reconnect with you as much as possible and find out what's going through your mind. I see a couple of comments, so I'll go over there real quick and say, what's happening, brother Simplify? What's up, Dan? How are you? Everything else? Let's talk about the VA. Lost your comm, bro. I got it back. It's been a while, so I got my comms back, so that's cool. So hello, how you doing? And then mic check. There you go. So again, let's talk about quite a few things that are very important. I mean, this platform is for you. This platform is for everyone that can pretty much re-engage with themselves. So we're talking about VA benefits, veterans not getting their money, veterans not being qualified, the VA not been able to support the veterans for what it is. So I just want to be able to more or less have this discussion. And the other thing that I want to be able to stress also is the situation in Ukraine that constantly brings up a concern for us, because in all due respect, the government's not telling us the whole truth. Okay. So I can honestly tell you that. So a lot of people are misled, but the biggest thing I can honestly tell you is the genocide is alive and well. If you watch the movie, The Pianist and Schindler's List, you should watch it, So that's the biggest thing that I could tell you, that from that perspective, the Holocaust of what's happening in Russia. I mean, there's a lot of things that are going on. Let me get here real quick. Another Bosnia, correct, in NATO. I agree. So let me say, hey, Hiram, thank you for sharing these discussions. I've been praying for everyone for all this mess around the world. I hope your family is doing well. Thank you very much. Happy Easter. And hey, Aston, how are you? So let me get you up there, Aston. Hey, man, doing I love. Hey, man, what's up? How are you doing? I love you coming in and say what's up. How are you doing? I appreciate it. So, look, I want to be able to reconnect with everybody and say I apologize, but sometimes life happens, priorities happen, and you have to be able to check out. But I'm back, and I'm doing something off the cuff to be able to reconnect, to be able to share some content, and think about certain things that are just as important as well. You know, as of today, gas prices are up at $7 a gallon out here in Los Angeles. Yes, I'm praying for you too, man. A lot's going on in my world. Welcome to the club. Life happens. I agree. So for me, certain things are just happening personally in my life, and I just want to be able to, be transparent, because it's important to be able to share certain things, but not to be too intimate, because when life happens, you have to take a pause and have to step aside, and you have to reassess and redirect on quite a few things. And we're talking from professionally to personally, and I believe that now is a great opportunity to be able to re-engage with people and have an open platform as a therapeutic way of sharing insights, not only from myself but for other individuals. Because if we're on this platform, and we're on Facebook, Meta, and we're on YouTube. If you like this content, please subscribe to LinkedIn Perspective on YouTube. For all you people that are out there, it's on there. I have a channel out there. It's on LinkedIn Perspective on YouTube. If you like this content, share it, like it, make a comment, make it viral, make it to a point where it could be successful. And then what it can do is reach out to the masses, because what I'm doing right now is reconnecting with everybody else and understanding that it's important for us to have this kind of community, this dialogue. So let me get back to the comments as well. And let me hope you have families well, brother. Thank you. Yes, it's crazy. Absolutely. Great, Gerald. Yeah, life happens. Many people can't be mad at your mother dying. Well, I know. I get it. Ashton. I get that. So, Scott, what's going on? Someone else will step up, keep moving forward. Of course, definitely. Chris, yes, $7. $7 in Los Angeles right now, in the heart of Los Angeles. $7.25 for regular gas. So I'm just letting you know. So Teresa, well, hey, I appreciate the support. I just want what I would appreciate, not what I want. I would appreciate that people be constantly sharing this content, tag it, make it known that I'm coming back, and coming back with a different perspective and a different viewpoint. But the biggest thing I want to be able to stress is the subscribe to LinkedIn Perspective on YouTube. And the biggest thing I want to be able to see is, hey, what can we do to do things better, to have a public forum and, virtual town hall for things that are just as important, not only for me, but for other individuals. I'm sure that everybody has some form of PTSD and stressors right now that people are going through. And I know there's a lot of veterans right now that are going through a lot of challenges, that they don't have a voice, so they don't know where to connect. And for me, I can honestly say that when you have a voice and you have some form of transparency, of complete transparency, people can really understand what's going on, and they can relate to you. So for us, it's more or less like a community. And the community is to be able to say that we're here for you, to be able to share this content with you. We're here to be able to listen to and validate your opinions. And we're here to be able to reach out to the masses, to be connected with you as well. I believe that it's what's important right now is to get re-engaged and, understand that we're all connected in some shape, form, or fashion. But the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is that, let me read this. I can't feel bad for Californians anymore. They keep on voting and continue what happens every year. People have allowed this once great state to turn into. Correct. This is not the California, James, that I remember. You're absolutely right. Let me read this. Ashton Smith, sorry for your mother passing. My condolences with your family. Y'all in my prayers. God bless. Yeah, man. So a house divided cannot stand. Correct. And now what's going on is that how can you people do this, right? You watch the news, is reprogrammed over and over again about the genocide. Think about right now in Los Angeles, right now, in the state of California alone, in the state of California where I live, right? There's follow home robberies. So these kids today, they're very organized. They're pretty much organized crime syndicates. They follow people to more or less rob them and take whatever material things at all costs. And here in the city of Los Angeles is the biggest thing that's going on. It's ridiculous. We have a homeless problem. We have a gas problem. We have rent. We have everything. Now we're having to follow home robberies to the point where people, not even Beverly Hills is safe. So I just want to be able to share that as well. But let me see what Chris. It's hard to have a voice when you talk to people who not gone through what we have. Correct, Chris, and that's the biggest thing that people don't understand. People don't really understand from a veteran's perspective that we've gone through some things and we've gone through a major transformation of being the best version of ourselves when it comes to joining the military, any branch of the service, right? So when we go through that transformation, we start learning more about ourselves and personal development. And the biggest thing that people don't understand that's the hardest challenge when it comes to communication factor, especially when we come back out of the military, is that they expect us to be the same person that we are when we join, and people don't understand that. So let me see what this individual says. We should circle our wagons and take care of our own. That's right. And this is the first step of doing this, is re-engaging with everybody, to have an open platform, to have a discussion for people to able to voice their opinions without being pulled to cancel culture. And the biggest thing that I can honestly tell you is that we're all family when we're having this discussion. I don't discriminate for anything. The only thing that I ask is that we have self-respect and voice your opinion in a professional manner and not create any form of anarchy. Because look, when I'm on LinkedIn Perspective on here, people don't understand that you have the trust and safety committee of LinkedIn that watches it, right? And then I have it on YouTube. So what I'm doing is reaching out to the masses to be able to subscribe them so they can catch this and rebroadcast this to another channel. And that's why you have YouTube channels as well. But the biggest thing that I also want to stress is that all veterans alike, citizens alike, we're all in this together. But for some reason, United States and our American citizens in different locations of the United States, for some reason, can't get it together. And we're too busy passing judgment or thinking about ourselves and feeling that our feelings are more important than the purpose. And what happens from that point on, we start losing the mission statement. And the mission statement should be able to give back to the society and take care of our own. And today we're not taking care of our own, especially the veterans as well. We're not taking care of our own. And when it comes to the, first responders, law enforcement, and I can honestly tell you from the first responders and law enforcement, they get in a bad rap to a certain extent. Look, not all cops are bad, right? Firemen, they're doing their job. You got paramedics, they're doing their job. And what's going on? We're not giving them the most support, and they're having a lot of forms of PTSD. So let me go up to this channel. We should carry our open carry in Texas. Follow home robberies will not be good here. That's true. That's why I'm sharing that the follow home robberies in California are escalating to an all-time high. And I take the train, Chris, I take two trains. I take the Metrolink and the subway to Los Angeles. Because I'm in Houston for a week. Many of veterans of science in certain neighborhoods. I tell you, man, I love Texas. They got their open carry. But the biggest thing that I want to be able to share with you is these are the trying times that are going on in society. So, the purpose of this broadcast is to be able to re-engage and show my face again because it's been a while. But I want to be able to more or less, Jesus, if it's not one thing, it's another. I get updates, and that's what happens when you haven't been here for a while. I don't want to be something like CNN and regurgitate stuff that you guys already been able to watch and see, but I want the people to participate in some kind of team building, brainstorming, voice their opinions, uh, you know, with all respect, and to be able to have a virtual town hall to be able to educate people as much as possible at the confines of your home and everything else. So for me, I can honestly tell you that, I'm going through some stuff, man. I'm going through some stuff right now. And I can tell you the stuff that I'm going through is no different than you and me, but, I'm willing to share to a certain extent that I've had my own personal challenges right now for the last few months. But I decided that regardless of the personal challenges, I need to be able to re-engage because I gotta live with a purpose. I have to be positive. So let me see what we got here. So yeah, sorry for your loss on your mother, Hiram. Yeah, Hiram is going through this right now. Is with me right now. No longer St. Louis. I'm just going through this. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I want people to be able to read that. So it's pretty much what it is, And Mariel, homeless families are serious situations, correct? And I can honestly tell you, you know, I don't know what to say. I just wanted to be able to connect with people and then re-engage with you as much as possible and say, hey, I'm human, uh, going through some crap right now. It's not easy, but you know, I, I could tell you that it's important for me to be able to, you know, connect with you guys again and say, hey, we need to like have a discussion. There's no feelings to be hidden here, but I want to be able to address certain concerns. Especially in today's society, I focus on the content. I focus on certain subjects. You know, and let me see. Thank you. We're here for you. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. People here understand what. Thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, Chris? How you doing? I appreciate it as well. So I just want to make it a point to connect with everybody because I think it's important to be able to. How can I put it in a good perspective? I wanted to be able to put it in a way where when things are going tough, you got to be able to step it up. This is where when things get tough, you're going to have to suck it up and just really push through it, right? So for me, it's important to re-engage and not stop what I'm doing, but take a pause and to be able to more or less show my face and say, hey, what's going on with you? How are we doing? How's everything going? You know, what kind of subjects we can talk about. But at the same time, if you have a talent and you have a skill set to be able to communicate with people in a certain platform, you should be able to utilize it to a point where you be able to engage with people and then they can understand and they can reciprocate your conversations and understand that with all these challenges at the end of the day, what are you going to do to give back to society? And for me, voice of opinion and voice of reason is the biggest thing I can share with. I believe that engaging and reaching out to people and more or less connecting with them is the best therapy that you can do when you're going through some adversities in your life. And I believe that with that process, you can learn how to deal with things with not making bad business decisions based on emotions. And those are the type of challenges that a lot of veterans, law enforcement, first responders, and combat veterans alone have been able to deal with. So we need to be able to connect and say, hey, we need to work as a unit. There's a lot of talented people on LinkedIn and on Facebook and on YouTube. We should be able to brainstorm and team building and to demonstrate the leadership principles and not only the leadership principles, but the leadership traits that we all have. Everybody has a specific, how can I say it? Talent.
a God-given talent that everybody doesn't have and is unique at itself. So I think that it's just as important. Let me see what Chris says. Until we have the proper representation at the state or the federal level, it'd be hard for us to service connect ratings. And I agree with you. And times have to change, because I have Vietnam veterans that were more or less service connected in Vietnam, and they still been denied, Chris. So I appreciate it. Christopher Asher, what benefits are you having problems with? Please get together, me with the benefits. Well, hey, you got an alliance. I love that. So thank you, Maria. I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. So, hey man, I live in the sucker push forward for 20 years. Past October, I broke down and came out from a blackout, praying, the loaded gun, my hand. Hey, bro. You got it right. That's why we're having this form of conversations, because, it's important that people don't feel alone on this, because everybody's going through some crap, right? So it's not more or less of airing out your dirty laundry. It's pretty much a social media therapeutic kind of conversation that people can voice their opinions without being passed judgment. I'm not going to put a cancel culture on what's going on with us, or especially me, or somebody saying something that might set it off. But I want to be able to share that with you as well. So love to hear the opinions of what we can do for Ukraine. This is not a war, it's a terrorist crime. Correct, Teresa. And the biggest thing what's going on with Ukraine is complete genocide, and people are seeing it. But the biggest, to your point, the biggest thing that I can honestly say to you is this, is we're watching a complete social media live genocide, and we can't do anything about it. We should be doing something about it. But the biggest thing that's going to happen, that I wouldn't doubt from President Biden, that this is World War III, but how much lives are you going to be able to keep on killing before we get involved? Okay. So what's this going on? DSPI offers free counselors online. Also listen to here. That's good. That's good to know. Scott, what you got? A lot of people who think of others, that before thinking of themselves, have a hard time reaching out to others because they're perceived it's a burden. Correct. And that's why you shouldn't feel ashamed, because we're all human. We all have that threshold of pain. We all have that, the aha moment. Sometimes we want to check out. Sometimes, we want to check out of a bad situation. Sometimes people want to permanently check out, and then you can't take it back, because you wind up second guessing yourself. Not for me personally, but I'm just saying that when we're going through some challenges, ladies and gentlemen, and for us, we have to be able to work together. It's been a while since I built a long-time relationship with quite a few people, but I want to be able to reach out and say, hey man, I'm still here, going through some crap, but it's still here. And we want to be able to be a public servant, not only for myself, but for everybody else. And the biggest thing that I want to be able to do is to reach out to the masses, to connect with people, especially these veterans or people that are alone. There's a lot of successful people that are alone, and they don't have no one to actually lean on or to listen to their voices as well. You find yourself alone. I think that's the worst thing that you could actually go through when you're alone, especially when the problems start manifesting, and one thing happens after another, another thing happens after another, another thing happens after another. And instead of people being kind of sympathetic, people look at you kind of weird, and they think that you have a problem. They really think that you have a problem, that you don't know how to handle the situation. And it also starts with, it can start from work, right? We can say hostile work environment, bullying, cancel culture. It carries it into the personal life. And then what happens is you start self-doubting yourself because of the person you have. You've made it this far in your life, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then you question what type of human being and why I suck at life. But you managed to be able to be here your past 30, 40, 50, me in my 60 plus years, and stuff happens, you question it. But at the same time, how do you solve it? Do you keep it to yourself? Do you share it with certain people? or do you become transparent to a certain point that you don't have to be fully divulging the situation? But at the same time, this conversation can not only help myself by sharing it, but it can help with others that can identify it. Let me see. Thank you so much for this. Having to deal with a work environment challenge my belief system is so hearing to give me strength. And correct, Will, I agree with you. And a lot of people don't understand that we all, since the pandemic, right? People have changed their perspective. Let me put it to you this way. 2 years after the pandemic, going on 3, a lot of people have been pretty much 2 things. They've been grateful or they've been self-serving. And pretty much what I've learned here in the state of California, a lot of people have been flat out rude, and they don't care. Self-absorbed, right? The ways of the world that consumes their mind to a point that they really think that everything is going to last forever. They're going to stay young forever. They're going to stay healthy forever. Their family's going to be intact forever. And the biggest thing they're going to be able to do is that, I got all these material things, all the toys I want, but guess what? There's no U-Haul in the back of that casket when it's time to check out. We're on borrowed time. And I think that on that borrowed time, you should be able to give back to society and leave this earth with a purpose and leave it with a legacy that people can really appreciate and take value or pretty much mentor or be transparent for what it is. Because I can honestly say that being wealthy, from a materialistic standpoint is great, but how many people that are so successful and wealthy are miserable? So, and then the other ones that are wealthy in life, they have all the wealth in lives as possible, the treasures that they have, and then they're just as poor or they're just getting by. So you got to pick and choose your battles, but you can't pass judgment on individuals. And I think the biggest thing that out of this conversation is, what am I getting at? The whole purpose of the show was, as I started before, it's been a while since I've been on. Let's catch up and review some few topics. Let's review, let's talk about some current events and let's talk about some certain things to be able to do that. So, hey, what's up? Got to run, brother. Glad to hear you. If you need anything, let me know. I don't know. All right, brother. I appreciate it. Usually I don't do the late show, but today was a spur of the moment. And I want to be able to share that with you. But if you like this content, share it, like it, tag it. And you can subscribe on LinkedIn, Perspective on YouTube. Hit the sub channel, share the content, and get people involved. Because as I'm working back into getting re-engaged with everybody else, I want to be able to make this just as popular. This should not be just a broadcast podcast, but an intimate one. And we should be able to, engage. And then what happens is we have 780 million plus subscribers on LinkedIn. And I don't know about millions and millions of subscribers on Facebook, and now millions of subscribers on YouTube. And you would think that some people have content to be able to create cloud chasers, followers, and everything else. And there's some good content, don't get me wrong. But when it comes to the average person, and I'm talking about the average person, normal people with normal problems, everybody has problems. And then what happens is, for the veteran community, we all have problems and we're the forgotten ones. And for the first responders, we're the forgotten ones as well. So those 3 those 3 topics work together hand in hand. And for the successful people, you're constantly working and you're making all this great money, but what are you doing to give back to society what is given to you? For you people that are constantly saying thank you for your service, right? More or less, what are you doing for the veterans? As you see my 3 buddies up there in the corner for the Mossack 3, right? I'm supporting them because they're going through some stuff as well. And that's going to be another talk show when we get together. For the other person that I admire, one of my mentors was Major James Capers, who was recommended for the Congressional Medal of Honor, not once, but twice. Was recommended twice to get double it for the Vietnam War. Got kicked down to a Silver Star. That's another topic that I'm working on. And then for the people in Ukraine, what's going on? We got prior military people wanting to volunteer. You don't hear about that but we got prior military people volunteering to fight to Ukraine. They're seeing all this stuff. So I can honestly share that. So let me see what we got here. So true to leave so true to leave a better than you that found it. Play it forward. Pick up the battles. It really matter. No decision is a bad one. It's just a decision. So true. So for a lot of people, I need to understand that it's important to reach out. It's important to communicate. It's important to rebuild when you're going through adversity, as I'm going through right now, and with my family. You got to be able to take the lumps and how can you do it? Pause for a minute and go through the process and push forward. You know, you got to push forward to a point where you find out who's there and you find out who isn't there. And their actions will tell you exactly who is in your corner, you know? So I just want to share that with you for a little bit. I don't want to be long-winded, but at the same time, if you can, I need to remind you again, this broadcast is brought to you by LinkedIn Perspective. I want to be personally thank LinkedIn for, how you call it, giving me the opportunity to be able to have this broadcast, to change it into a podcast. And if you like this content, go to LinkedIn, to YouTube to subscribe to LinkedIn Perspective. I got to be able to read this. Hold on just a minute. Maria, it's National Borinquen Day. Well, yes. For the pioneers of the Puerto Rican society that's been able to do that fought in different wars, I salute you as much. Thank you. So once again, I want to personally thank you. I know it's late in different sides, but I decided to do a spur of the moment that I haven't been here for a while. You know, so I'm re-engaging with you guys. I think it's just as important to be able to be the face of reasoning and the voice of others that cannot speak for themselves. And I think that once you have the opportunity to understand the processes and the challenges of what people are actually going through, you can respect them and you can show some sympathy and empathy as well. Because at the end of the day, people make bad decisions based on emotions, and then they can't take it back. And then if you're not there to help them out and you're not paying it forward to even lend the ear or spend some time to listen to that individual, to empathize with what's going on, then you're just being self-serving for yourself. And if you don't believe in a higher power, that's on you, because I'm not going to, preach to the choir about Christianity. But I can honestly tell you that if you're a man of faith, you're a woman of faith, you got to be able to take it to another level where you got to let that faith work through this process. And that's been my challenge right now, as much as I'm a faith believing man. When the devil starts playing stupid games with your life, and they start throwing you curveballs, you wonder what the hell is going on. And then that's when you have to step aside and ask for the man upstairs to give you some guidance and give you the strength, and be able to go through that process and walk through the valley of death with, that you shall not fear no evil, because God is with you. So with that being said, simplify, always beside you. I really appreciate everyone. Again, if you like this content, share it, like it, tag it, and subscribe to LinkedIn Perspective. It's on the YouTube channel. If you want some other kind of content, feel free to make it known. I want to make sure that everybody has their opportunity. I don't discriminate in this type of platform. This virtual town hall is just as important for everybody else. And I want people to be able to reach out to me. And the other thing is that if you want me to be able to be a voice of reasoning for other channels, I want to do that, because hold on just a minute. I want to give some acknowledgement to other people, because this has not been. So thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Willie, thank you, sir. You're the best to you and your family. Everyone here today, appreciate it. Teresa, what you got? I'll be in Jacksonville next week. Go Street Fitness, and great speakers there, led by Special. Everyone should come in. All right, we'll check it out. And to the special operations community, I really appreciate you guys. I know what I forgot. So there's going to be the Recon Challenge coming up here in April. So it's the Recon Challenge, the Marine Recon Challenge, is to pay tribute to the fallen of the special operators, and it's paid to those ones that paid the ultimate price for the during the wars. And the Recon Challenge, if you look it up, and it's going to be held in Camp Pendleton, and it's almost like the Ironman, right? It's almost like an Ironman. So it's a swim. It's a 30-mile hike with a 50-pound ruck. There's some exercises, but at the end of the day, when they get to the finish line, they're able to pay respects to, the fallen special operators. So I'll keep you posted. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Let's make it known. I'll stay in tune, and then eventually we'll do some more content. So enjoy your night. Thank you for your time. Peace out.